Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to ask all the principals, Dr. Ritika Himdev, Dr. Purnima, can we start the event?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Aruna ma'am, are there faculties from your college? And Anvesh sir, can we start? Aruna Singham ma'am, is she
Anvesh sir,
here?
can you hear us? Anvesh sir?
Okay. I think it's 1 o'clock and we'll start our session.
Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. A very warm welcome to all our distinguished academicians, researchers, educators, and students joining us today from different parts of India and across the globe. I'm Dr. Shivani Aluwalia from Siengal College of Commerce, Mumbai, and it is my privilege and honor to host this international webinar titled From Burnout to Balance, Emotional Sustainability and Well-Being in Academic Leadership. Let me begin with a single reflection. Being an academician today means wearing many hats. We are teachers, researchers, mentors, administrators, counselors, and sometimes even crisis managers. But while we take care of our institutions and our students, one important question is often ignored. Who takes care of the educators? In today's rapidly evolving academic environment, educators increasingly face intense workload, emotional fatigue, and constant performance pressure. This international webinar attempts to address exactly that, how we can move from burnout to balance, and how to handle our academic pressure and build ourselves as academic leaders. Today's webinar is jointly organized by four esteemed institutions: Siagat College of Commerce, Mumbai; Shivajirao S. Jonle Institute of Law and Research, Asangaon; Vignaharta Trust Shivajirao S. Jonle Polytechnic, Asangaon; Bhavna Trust Junior and Degree College of Commerce, Science, Mumbai. We are grateful to all the collaborating institutions, conveners, speakers, and participants who joined us for this meaningful academic discourse. With that, let us formally begin our academic dialogue. To start our proceedings, I would like to invite Dr. Ritika Himdev, the convener of this webinar and the principal of Siyangar College of Commerce, to share her thoughts and formally address the gathering. Dr. Himdev has played the key role in conceptualizing and organizing this international academic platform. Ma'am, the virtual stage is all yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of Srinagar College of Commerce, it's a pleasure to welcome you all for today's webinar. As academic teachers and leaders, we are often expected to be, endlessly productive, resilient, and visionary. But rarely are we given the space to pause and ask, how am I really? In the high stakes environment of academics, leaders and teachers are often expected to be the pillars of their institutions, managing complex admin demands while fostering excellence in research and teaching. But this can lead to silent exhaustion. So, this session is about reclaiming that space. It's about understanding that emotional stability is not a luxury, it's a foundation for effective leadership, creativity, and sustainable success. Today, we'll explore not only the challenges that come with leading in the academic world, but also the strategies and mindsets that help us thrive amid them. I encourage you all to listen, reflect, and engage openly. Every voice here matters. Thank you for being a part of this vital conversation. Let's begin our journey, and a warm welcome to you all once again. Over to you, Shivani.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Now I would like to invite Dr. Purnima Eknath Surve, ma'am. She is the principal of Shivaji Rao S. Jonle Institute of Law and Research, Asangaon, to address us. But I really want to tell you all one thing, that ma'am has been very encouraging and very participative since the time that we told her we want to collaborate and start this webinar. She's been very, very instrumental in all her possible ways to help us and guide us. Ma'am, thank you very much. Ma'am, over to
Thank you.
you.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to start with a quote that is, education is not filling the vessel, but it is lightening the flame. It's a lightening of a flame. This profound thought, it reminds us that the true purpose of education is not merely to impart knowledge, but it was to inspire thoughts, nurture values, and shape responsible leaders for society. Good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries, distinguished speakers, and esteemed educators joining us from across the country and abroad. It is my privilege to welcome you all on behalf of Shivaji Rao S. Zondre Institute of Law and Research, Asangao, a proud constituent of Shivaji Rao S. Zondre Knowledge City, functioning under the aegis of Vignaharta Trust. Our institution, it derives its inspiration from the visionary ideals of late Dr. Shivaji Rao Zondre sir, whose belief was that education is the most powerful instrument for social transformation. And this vision is carried forward under the able leadership of Srimati Varsha Shivaji Rao Zondre Deshmukh Madam, that she is the president of Vignaharta Trust, Srimati Geeta Zondre Madam, the vice president of the trust, Dr. Sneha Zondre ma'am, the secretary, Har Zondre sir, that is the joint secretary, and Shri Pritam Deshmukh sir, the director, whose guidance and encouragement continuously inspire us in this academic and institutional initiatives. So I would like to thank them to give us an opportunity to be here today. The theme for today's international webinar is from burnout to balance, that is emotional sustainability and the well-being in the academic leadership. It is a very timely and a significant academic landscape because today's higher education, it places multiple responsibilities upon the educators. So beyond teaching, they serve as mentors, they serve as researchers, they serve as administrators and institutional leaders. So while we continuously strive to achieve academic excellence, it is also equally important to recognize the emotional and the professional demands which are associated with these responsibilities. So I'm very thankful to Shivani ma'am, also Dr. Shivani ma'am, who just gave this idea that ma'am, we should do something for educators where their emotional and professional demands are there, which are associated with their responsibility. We can do something to achieve that particular goal. So as we say, this webinar will provide a very important platform to deliberate on how academic institutions, they can foster environments that promote well-being and sustainable leadership practices within the academic community. We are also equally honored to have Dr. Gunjan Khera ma'am from Amity University, Dubai, who will be the key address in today's particular event. And also Ms. Nupur Nautilia ma'am, the journaling coach from Co-Acharya, who will be guiding us on the reflective practices on emotional clarity and professional well-being. So I extend my sincere appreciation to all collaborating institutions, the organizing committees, and all the participants for their presence today and the contribution to this meaningful academic initiative. So with these words, I warmly welcome you all and wish everyone a productive and an enriching webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Anvesh K. Nikunwal, sir, the convener from Vignaharta Trust, Shivaji Rao S. Jonle Polytechnic, is the principal there to share his thoughts with us. Anvesh, sir, are you here with us? Dr. Anvesh from Vignaharta Trust. Now is he there?
Ma'am, no, I feel he sir has joined before, but some network error must be there. He's not there now.
Okay, no problem. So we'll go to our next collaborating institute, Bhavna Trust Institute. We have with us Dr. Aruna Singham. She is the principal from Bhavna Trust Junior College and Degree College in Mumbai. Ma'am, over to you, please.
A very good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of Bhavna Trust Junior and Degree College of Commerce and Science, I would like to welcome you all to this international webinar, From Burnout to Balance, Emotional Sustainability and Well-being in Academic Leadership. Firstly, I would like to invite our esteemed speaker, Dr. Gunjan Khera from Department of Psychology, Amity University, Dubai, Nupur Nautiyal Madam, journalist and coach. A warm welcome to both of you, ma'am. I'm highly thankful to Singhad College of Commerce, Mumbai, Shivaji Rao Jodhale Institute of Law and Research, Asimgaon, Shivaji Rao Jodhale Polytechnic College, Asimgaon, for their cooperation in conducting this webinar. Today's topic from burnout to balance, emotional sustainability and well-being in academic leadership is very relevant. As a principle, the ability of leader to manage their own emotions, create a supportive environment for their team, and prioritize mental health is very, very crucial. Emotional sustainability is about navigating challenges without burning out, while well-being is about thriving in your role. So I think today's session is going to be very interesting and insightful. So without taking much of your time, let's start with the session. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Thank you, all the respected conveners and institute collaborators. Now we begin our webinar. Now the time that you've been waiting to hear from our keynote address, Dr. Gunjan Khera. It gives me pleasure to introduce you, Dr. Gunjan Khera. Dr. Khera is a cognitive and development child neuropsychologist who completed a PhD from Germany, where she received a prestigious merit-based German state scholarship. Dr. Gunjan Khera is a principal investigator on cognitive sciences research project funded by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India at IIT Ropar. Dr. Khera brings more than a decade of postdoctoral experience in teaching, research, and has served as an assistant professor in the Department of Psychology and Clinical Psychology at the UA University. Her research interests include cognitive development in children, dyslexia, autism, ADHD, and developmental delays, emotional distress and learning difficulties, neuropsychological assessment, and child development. She is also deeply committed to public education on child development, mental health, nutrition, and emotional well being. Today, she will help us understand the most relevant theme for us academicians from burnout to balance. I'm sure her insights will help us rethink how we approach leadership, productivity, and emotional resilience in academia. Ladies and gentlemen, join us virtually to welcome Dr. Gunjan Khera. Ma'am, the platform is all yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shivani. I hope am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Is this clear? Am I visible?
Audible, visible, clear, perfect.
Okay, thank you. So here I go. I share my screen first. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity so that I can present my work here. And thank you for a very warm introduction. So there are people from charitable trust, those who are doing excellent in their fields, and thank you so much for this privilege to present my work in front of the audiences from India. And this is my international seminar, and I would like to welcome all the participants, those who have joined from India and internationally. Thank you so much for your time. So here I begin with the session. It's about burnout to balance. So I have highlighted some of the main important points on which my presentation will be circulating around. So section one is about explaining what is stress and burnout, because if we
Gunjan,
would like,
ma'am, sorry to interrupt. Can you make it full screen because we can't see the screen?
okay, I already made full screen.
No, F5. Yeah, I mean, your slides are like, you have to press
Okay,
F5 as well.
now it's okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
yeah.
So section one is basically focuses on your stress and burnout, because we cannot explain burnout until unless we just explain stress. Because whatever we collect on daily basis, whatever the stress levels we have on daily basis, especially the females, that can turn out to be a burnout. Section 2 is about like population commonly affected with burnout. Section 3 will highlight lifestyle factors contributing to burnout, because at this era we all have sedentary lifestyle. So I have pinpointed from the psychological perspectives what are the sedentary lifestyle factors which gives an impact. And then late night workout, nutrition, which can elevate the stress level. Section 4 is about neuropsychology. Since I'm a neuropsychologist, so I have to mention some of the brain areas and neurotransmitters, some vitamin minerals which are basically important to understand about the burnout. So, what is affected in our body when we are in a burnout stage? And section 5 is about the balance and remedial measures, what we can practice on daily basis. So first, let me introduce you the section 1, which is about stress and burnout. So stress is a psychological and physiological responses for demanding situation. It occurs when the demands exceeds, and sometimes maybe if we are exposed to some stressful situation, then the body goes into fight or flight state. That means body is into a state where the body identifies that we are in danger. So then we have neurotransmitters are which are released, which help us to run out of that area. And then there is a significant changes. So for example, if I'm dealing with a fire alarm, real fire alarm, then I will not sit down to have my breakfast or my lunch. So my all resources will be directed to leave that premise so that I can save myself. So this is about body's fight or flight responses. So type of stress, everyday stress, which is important so that we can do our work efficiently. And everyday steps also gives us some butterfly. That butterfly is important so that we can enhance our performance. But if you just talk about acute stress, that means everyday collection of stress. That means over the tolerance power of my body. If everything is just collected, then it leads to the chronic or acute stage. This is where the problem starts. That means we are going towards the stage of burnout. So, what exactly the burnout is? So, as per the Maslach's burnout theory, he defined like three main components to understand burnout, which is like emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and reduce accomplishment. So that means reduce accomplishments, that means I am not able to accomplish for which I'm supposed to do. And depersonalization, that means I have my personal space, I'd like to be in my personal space, my social interaction is affected, I don't feel like meeting people, and I have just restricted myself in a boundary, and I don't want to leave that boundary because then I have a feeling of discomfort. Then emotional exhaustion, that means I am always feeling dull, I'm drained, I'm overwhelmed, maybe I'm not liking maybe my favorite food or my favorite spot where I want to go earlier. So I used to be like going to my favorite restaurant or practicing my some hobbies, I was indulging myself into many things, but now that's all gone. So that comes under the category of emotional exhaustion. It's not necessarily all three things happens together. It can, one thing can trigger the other thing. So these are the main categorizations what we have seen. So what is the relationship between the stress and burnout? High work life demands. Okay, for the females mainly, what happens, like I am in, maybe as an example, I'm in a full-time job, I want to do everything in my job, I want to do overtime, then I'm rushing back, I have to take care of my kids, I have to take care of my home, I have taken all the burden of me. So that is the point where we have like many cases which leads to the burnout. So now everyday stress, which is basically collected. I'm repeating myself. A nominal amount of stress is required to boost the performance. But when it goes beyond that, then the problem starts, which leads to the chronic stress, and then the burnout happens. Again, burnout, how is it happening? It depends on every individual's level. So sometimes people take 1 or 2 years, sometimes even 3 to 4 years, and so on. So it's depends on individual, like how do they take it. And secondly, it's very important that how often they give a break to themselves. So that means if today I had a very stressful day or something, I did overtime or something, then in the evening, I make sure that at least 1 hour I should take out for myself. I should indulge in something which I like to do, like playing music or having my favorite food, or just talking to somebody, whatever it can be. So these are some of the common symptoms of burnout, which can be chronic fatigue, reduced productivity. I was like very productive earlier, but now I'm not able to do even the simple task. There is a detachment can be with the family members. I don't like to speak to anyone, so maybe I don't like that anybody says anything to me. And detachment can be also social withdrawal, then emotional exhaustion. Then here emotional exhaustion is also leading to irritability. That means these symptoms I can find I'm very irritated throughout. Anybody says me anything, that is what, bang on. And neglected self-care. So you can see this is a correlational paradigm, so where each of the elements are related with one another. So few symptoms can aggregated and just call or an invite for other symptoms. So mostly we see all these symptoms when we see like acute stage of burnout, but mainly it can start with one or two or so. So now if you just talk about burnout, it goes in a cycle. So high stress, high demands, this is how the workout burnout starts. Overcommitment of something, okay, I can manage everything in my office, work and everything. That could be something overcommitment. You have to accept yourself that you are a human. You are not meant to do everything. You cannot do each and everything. There are identified roles which needed to be divided, maybe in terms of family or in terms of professional life. So do not take everything on your shoulder. You are not a superwoman, you are not a superman, which can lead to chronic fatigue, emotional exhaustion, reduced performance, and at home or at your workplace, and cynicism. So disengagement about I'm not disengaged. So maybe I was like in a meeting or something like that. I'm entirely disengaged. I'm not interested, maybe. So this burnout cycle, if you are in a state that keeps on continuing on daily basis. So now here I would like to ask audience to take 2 minutes. I will just pause my presentation for a minute because this is an activity. I would like you to use a paper pencil and note down what causes the most stress in your teaching or professional role. Whatever the professional background you're coming from, or if you're a teacher or an educator, just write it down in a paper that what causes stress for you and what small change can improve your well-being. So maybe any change you would like to implement, write down that. And how can institutions support teachers wellness? How do you think, if you are a teacher, or maybe even though if you are a professional, just write it down how institution can play an important role to support you. So we just take a few seconds or a minute pause, write it down, and then I will ask you at the end. I hope it's clear. Take a minute's time and then we just move on further. I really want you to write it down so that we can come back on it. Of course, we can't entertain everybody because it's like we have so many participants here. But yes, we can take responses from one or two people. So, what causes the most stress in your teaching or professional role? What small changes can improve your well being as per you? So, you have to introspect yourself. As per you, what small changes can improve your well being? Further, how can institutions support teachers' wellness or whatever the professional background you come from? Think about it and write your answers. Okay. I think I have to share it. Yeah. Okay. So I hope you must have written your responses. It won't take more than a minute or something like that. Okay. So now going to the second part, section 2. What population commonly affected with burnout? So teachers and educators, major stresses like in the teacher's profession because there is a heavy workload. So olden times, there was not that much of stress, when we talk about teacher's profession. So now what I see, professors or teachers or education, it's like highly demanding. So people, those who are really interested, they are really into that profession, I think now they are the one, those who are opting for teaching profession. Classroom management can be challenging. There is like time pressure for grading and giving the assignments to the students, and emotional demands for the students, your family, and yourself. Then there is like a set of admin pressure, admin requirements as a teacher we need to fulfill. And
Gunjan ma'am,
work.
we can't see your screen.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah,
Yes, now
can
we
you?
can. Yes, now we can.
So let me start again. Teachers and educators, major stresses in the teaching profession because of heavy workload, classroom management challenges. Maybe you have more number of students and time pressure. You have to do the grading within this given time. Emotional demands for the students, for yourself and your family. Then there is also a set of administrative job that we need to do it, and work life balance. You have to give an appropriate amount to your family, your work culture, which requires a lot of your time. And sometimes not always, there could be limited institutional support. So the key features: teachers, educators, stress results from multiple overlapping demands. Workload, emotional demands, and time pressure are the major contributors. Managing stress early helps prevention for the burnout. So I would say not weekly, but everyday management is important. Going on further, healthcare professionals are also linked with the burnout. Long working hours and the shift, they see emotional pressure from the patients, exposure to the trauma and the critical situations, and decision making under pressure because they have to save somebody's life. That's even more advanced. Social worker and counselors working with vulnerable populations, emotional empathy and demands, and exposure to trauma and crisis. This is what that gives them a very heavy loads on their shoulder. And if you just talk about counselors, they just also hear some of the traumatic experiences, so which some or the other way gives us impact on them. Now, coming to section 3, lifestyle factors contributing to burnout. So, for me, lifestyle factors are one of the most important factors that needed to be into consideration. Late night working reduces sleep duration and recovery time. If we just talk about 7 to 8 hours, sleep is mandatory. If we just talk about females, we need more sleep, like approximately 8 to 9 hours. Why is that so? Because females are more indulged into multitasking, they can manage four things at a time. Because of that, the recovery time for them, it's like more. So if the sleep duration is decreased, so then there are collective symptoms that can be seen after an year or something, which leads to mental and physical fatigue. So maybe I have slept for 3 hours last night. So maybe I have a brain fog. So I'm mentally and physically exhausted. I am not that productive. So manage your sleep cycle, because we have a concept circadian rhythms. That means if I have an habit of sleeping at 10 p.m. and waking up at 6 a.m., so this is how our body starts alarming. So around at 10, So we will have a signal from the body. We will be yawning, or we will be fatigued, or sometimes eyes are watering. That's an alarm. Okay, this is my circadian rhythm and this is my sleeping time. And then, if you have managed this for many days, then at 6 o'clock, nearly to that time, you will be awake automatically. Then you don't need an alarm clock. Automatically, your circadian rhythms has been set. So this is what we need. Impairs concentration and decision making if you don't give yourself an adequate amount of sleep, and increases vulnerability to stress. That means you are more prone to stress, and then later on maybe burnout. Sleep deprivation disrupts cognitive functioning. So maybe if I'm planning to make a decision, I need to go there, I need to do this, these all things are disrupted if we didn't had an adequate amount of sleep. Reduced emotional regulation. That means where we should be emotional. Sometimes we just see that people start crying for a very small episode. So this is what emotional regulation. You can't regulate your emotions, and which increases irritability and exhaustion, and which can be an salient contributed to the chronic stress. Further, poor nutrition. Now, what happens because of uh, overworking and not sleeping well? So then we have not planned our meal. Then we will grasp on something which is available. So at very few workplaces, we may have unhealthy options, but most of the time we just indulge or grasp something which is unhealthy. Once a week or twice a week, that's okay. But more than that, that could be fatal for our body. So, nutrition, not having an adequate amount of nutrition reduces energy levels, impairs brain functioning, because whatever nutrition we take, with that nutrition, our neurotransmitters are made. And these neurotransmitters are the one which act like a fuel for our brain. This is because of these neurotransmitters only the connection between our brain areas that are established. So basically, you are directly impacting that, and which may also lead mood instability. You must have seen, like, if you eat something sweet or something, all of a sudden you feel so happy, because eating chocolate, eating sweet, that releases your neurotransmitters, and because of that you all of a sudden feel happy, and that happiness doesn't stay for long. It's a very short, shift. So all of a sudden your energy level will be boosted, then eventually it will come down, and which also weakens body's ability to cope up with stress. You can build your immunity by having a good diet. So, combined impact, late night, emotional, persistent, this progression increases the risk of burnout. When we just combine persistent fatigue, late night work, or not maintaining your circadian rhythms one or two times, that's absolutely fine. We all have to do it. But then next day, we have to balance it out. And emotional exhaustion, that all is linked with the direct progression of burnout. Key message here: just have an adequate sleep and proper nutrition. Healthy routine improves your resilience. That means your tolerance for taking something. So my resilience will be different than your resilience. And self-care helps prevent burnout. So you have to take time on yourself. You have to work on yourself so that you can prevent from burnout. So now here is section 4. It's like about neuropsychology of burnout, just to understand the basic brain areas. Then we will be slightly switching on some vitamins and neurotransmitters, just to understand the connection. Because it's very important that we have to implement something, we should know our physiology. So we will talk about brain areas, neurotransmitters, vitamins, and nutrition. So, brain areas which are important for burnout. So, first is your prefrontal cortex, hippocampus, amygdala, and anterior cingulate cortex. So, there are more areas, but these are some of the basic ones. So prefrontal cortex is here, which is responsible for decision making, planning, judgment, attention, emotional regulation. Chronic stress reduces activity in the prefrontal cortex. So that is why people may be often confused that what is right, what is wrong. Lead to poor concentration, impaired decision making, and mental fatigue. So maybe I am tired, mentally, I'm tired by 7 or 8 hours, but maybe after starting my work within 1 or 2, I feel tired already. Second one is amygdala. Amygdala is also called as an emotional regulation center. So you can see I have identified, as per the different perspectives of the brain, I have identified where is it localized. It's a very small part. And key brain region involves an emotional processing and the threat detection. Chronic stress increases the amygdala activity. So maybe body doesn't know how to discriminate within a life-threatening or basically everyday stressful episode. It keeps it on the same level. So when you have this, then your amygdala is highly active, I would say. So which may result is heightened anxiety levels, irritability, and emotional reactivity. That means you don't have any tolerance. You just reply back immediately without even thinking about where are you in. So amygdala. Hippocampus is a ring sort of a structure where our memory consolidation happens. Consolidation, that means collection. So this is important for memory formation and learning. High cortisol levels, so we have this neurotransmitters. So cortisol, everybody is familiar nowadays. What is cortisol? So levels have reduced hippocampal functioning. Reduced hippocampal functioning, that means you will not be able to remember the things. Right now, I'm not talking about the short-term memory. So the numbers or the things you remember for a couple of days for minutes. I'm just talking about you will not be able to recall. Maybe well-rehearsed information, still you are not able to recall it later time. Because your memory span has been decreased because you are exposing yourself to the stressful situation which has already led to burnout and you are not able to make new memories. Fourth one is anterior cingulate cortex, involved in attention, control, and emotional regulation. Burnout can impair its functioning. Anterior cingulate cortex, again, I have highlighted. Basically, it runs still at the back. So, but I have just highlighted a small part of it. Burnout can impair anterior cingulate cortex, results in difficulty focusing, and reduce cognitive flexibility. That means we have to make a decision. Okay, this part will be included in the student's final exam or no, how the performance will be. So we are not able to decide. So as an example, so such things like that is impaired if you just talk about daily burnout, which also starts impacting about anterior cingulate cortex. I'm not talking about one day stress will lead to that, but days, maybe at least it takes 1 or 2 years to lead to that stage, or sometimes it takes 5 years, depends on individual. So now here we will little bit talk about neurotransmitters and burnout. Dopamine, which is like linked with motivation and reward related neurotransmitters. So here it's also released when we have goal directed behaviors, and reduce dopamine signaling if we are in a burnout stage, decrease motivations and enthusiasm in our functioning, a loss of interest in the work or activities, and poor concentration and productivity can be linked with the dopamine. So neurotransmitters are there in the brain. So depends on what type of cognitive functioning we are trying to do. According to that, it's released in an area. If you just talk about neurons, one type of neuron can carry more than one type of neurotransmitters. They reserve it. And this is how the connection between the brain areas are established. So what I'm trying to say, the flow of these neurotransmitters can be uh, can be affected if we are in the stage of burnout. Some symptoms could be lack of motivation, reduced work engagement, and feeling mentally drained. Serotonin, it's about like mood stability, emotional regulation, sleep, and appetite. So maybe if we are in a burnout stage, our appetite may increase or decrease. That's because of that. I told you an example about eating chocolate. This is what serotonin is released in our brain. So that is why we are just happy. So effect of burnout, decrease serotonin availability, maybe less serotonin is there. And typical symptoms may range between irritability, depressed mood, sleep disturbances, emotional instability. So this is serotonin. Further, neuronephrin. So it's more active about fight or flight responses. So every day, if you are taking your body and brain into that zone, then later on body will not be able to discriminate what is like a fight and normal situations. So it will have equal responses. And maybe if you need to run away from that situation, then your body will not be performing at that alertness stage. So here, if you are exposed to burnout, then neuronephrin is also affected. You have typical symptoms like anxiety, hypervigilance, difficulty concentrating, mental fatigue, or making decision at a fight or flight responses. Then people are often confused. Cortisols, everybody knows about cortisol. This is also a stress hormone. So if a cortisol is released in your brain, it's called as a neurotransmitters in the body, then it's a hormone. So chronic elevation of cortisol, hippocampal shrinkage, that means hippocampus I just showed you. So then shrinkage, that means it will decrease in the size. Why? Because the neurons get affected. And reduce cognitive flexibility. Typical symptoms may be memory difficulty, that means we have difficulty in memorizing something or recalling something. Emotional exhaustion and cognitive fatigue again. So basically, you have seen there are overlapping symptoms, but when just imagine all the things work together, then how chronic stage this burnout could be. And then GABA, it's one of the inhibitory neurotransmitters. Inhibitory, that means you can understand, which suppresses the process, and excitatory, which excites the process as a general information. And so what happens, if I'm anxious or something, that anxiety level cannot be suppressed if the GABA levels are decreased. So because they are inhibitory neurotransmitter. So that is why people are, most of the time, they are anxious, they are restless, or they have a difficulty relaxing. They will keep on thinking about something which may not be real. So this is also happening because of the GABA. Glutamate, it's basically helps in memory consolidation and all cortex functioning. If I just talk about superficial cortex functioning, is very important with the glutamate. Chronic stress increasing glutamate levels leads to neurotoxicity and neuronal fatigue. Neurotoxicity, that means neurons starting to die. And then neuronal fatigue, that means the connection between the brain through the neurons are not happening adequately that it should happen. And basic symptoms can be cognitive overload, mental exhaustion, and memory impairments. And then glutamate has other very important roles, but for now I'm just restricting myself within this framework. So just to summarize with dopamine, motivating factors, reward, burnout effect, reduce motivation and the pleasure. Serotonin, mood regulation, people may be depressed or irritated. Neuronephrin, alertness and stress. Anxiety and cognitive fatigue is one of the common symptoms. Cortisol, stress hormones, hippocampal damage and memory issues. That means the neurons keeps on shrinking. GABA, relaxation and inhibition, increase anxiety because it's an inhibitory neurotransmitter, so you cannot relax yourself. And glutamate, learning and cognition. That means if I'm trying to memorize new information, because of glutamate imbalance, that will not happen. And even though I memorize for a number of times, still I'm unable to do it. I'm just talking about extreme case of burnout here. Further, here I've listed some vitamins and minerals which are important for our, fighting against burnout or any stressful situation. If we have adequate levels of these vitamins and minerals, so then what happens? Our body immunity is ready to take that challenge, and then burnout can be delayed. So with your diet, you can just delay the effect or decrease the effect. So vitamin B complex, vitamin B deficiency is very common for vegetarians. And because it's very much into eggs and leafy vegetables, fish and legumes. Legumes consumption is not that much that we should eat bowls and bowls to compensate for it. And green leafy vegetables are only available during the winters, and this is what we just do it. So then body doesn't get an efficient amount of B12. Because of that, there could be some causes which can be there. And if a person is in chronic stress or burnout, vitamin B level starts decreasing, and which can lead to mental fatigue, poor concentration, and again irritability. So there are maybe if you can just make a checkup like 6 monthly or 1 year, and you can check your levels. So this is important. Okay, then going up with magnesium. Burnout symptoms of deficiency of magnesium can lead to high levels of anxiety, muscle tension. So then what happens? Maybe if I am in a stage of burnout or anxious, then I have unexplained pains. So this is one of the reasons. Sleep disturbances can also be caused, and headaches. Headaches are the one of the major things. So the food sources we have almonds, pumpkins, seeds, spinach, dark chocolates, not the sugary chocolate, 90% of chocolate and 10% sugar or 5% sugar, and whole grains are the main sources of magnesium, which is normally we have it in our kitchen. Omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids has a very debatable role. So it's also identified for children with learning disabilities. Low omega-3 levels are associated with depression, emotional exhaustion, and cognitive decline. Food sources we have fatty fish, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. So traditionally, if we just go back to Indian culture, so we had this thing of having seeds on every day. So I think there are some recipes even in Maharashtra where they emphasize on flax seeds and a lot. So this is one of the reasons to have an adequate omega-3 levels in our body. Vitamin D. Low vitamin D levels are linked to fatigue, depression, and low motivation. And vitamin D can also be crucial for females above 40 because they have a lot of your bone deterioration. Sources are your sunlight, eggs, fortified dairy products, and fatty fish. Fortified, you may buy cereals or something like that. So maybe nowadays, if you have a very limited sun exposure, then you can just go for the vitamins, of course, with the consultation of your physician. Iron. Iron deficiency definitely cause brain fog, fatigue, poor concentration. And it's found mainly in red meat, lentils, spinach, and beans, which are very crucial for the brain cells and even the production of dopamine. Zinc, which also has a role in maintaining individual immunity, and mood instability, impaired cognitive functioning, maybe if low levels of zinc is running around our body. Main sources are pumpkin seeds, nuts, shellfish, and legumes. Zinc we just require in very less quantity, so maybe people are sick, then small dosage of zinc is advised by the physician so that body can compensate for it. So you can just look for these levels. These are one of the basic tests which I would recommend to do it at least yearly to have your levels adequate. And adequate medication can be taken to overcome. Vitamin C into COVID-19, we know it's very much required for our immunity. So low levels of vitamin C may also lead to fatigue, weakened immunity. You are prone to having repetitive infections and increased stress sensitivity. For small thing, you are stressed. Small thing, you are very much stressed. Food sources: oranges, kiwis, strawberries, and bell peppers. So this is the table again to make a recall. Vitamin B complex, energy, metabolism, and neurotransmitter synthesis. Synthesis, that means it's made from the diet what we take on daily basis. Magnesium, relaxation and stress reduction. Omega-3 fatty acids, brain health and mood regulation. Vitamin D, mood and immune system regulation. Iron, oxygen delivery and cognitive energy. Low levels of oxygen, that means cells cannot have a good levels of oxygen, and oxygen is required for us to keep our energy up. Zinc, neurotransmitter balance, and of course, it also helps in maintaining immunity. Plus vitamin C, that can also helps in regulating the cortisol levels, which is a stress-related hormones. Okay. Further, just to summarize this part: stress, nutrient depletion, neurotransmitter imbalance can occur, and burnout symptoms can be there. So these are some of the main reasons. So due to any XYZ reason, if you cannot control your workplace or any work related assignments, so but managing yourself, at least you can push out the occurrence of the burnout. Practical strategies for teachers or educators, that can be mindfulness and breathing exercise. I would say, just maybe if you have a very stressful day, in between take 5 minutes, break, close your eyes and sit idle for 5 minutes. That can also work for wonders. Maybe talking to somebody or going for a walk, maybe 10-15 minutes, or maybe tea breaks or a chai break or something like that. That is the one when we just restore our energy and we get back to the work. So now here coming for the section 5, balance and remedial measures, which we can take on daily basis. So please be mindful. I'm just emphasizing on taking care of everyday's health, because every day is important. Balance. Clear work-life balance. Burnout often occurs when a professional responsibilities spill into their personal life. Set fixed working hours if it's possible. And professional development, skill enhancement. Skill enhancement, that means if you need to have to learn a new skill, because of that you can do your work easily, so then you can go ahead and go for that training. That will help yourself in the work. So during your work times, if you're also working on skill enhancement, then that can be very challenging. So you can take out a separate time where you can just work on skill enhancement, or you can enroll for professional development courses, which are there. Avoid being professionally active during holidays or weekends. Maybe try not to be, just to be relaxing yourself. If you think it's very much required, very urgent, then later on you can compensate for it. Create a psychological transitional ritual, maybe whatever you like: walk, music, meditation, whatever you like, small walking breaks. Psychological benefits is linked when we taking small pauses in between. Allows the brain to switch from stress mode to recovery mode. So when you are taking a small chai break or coffee break, then what happens? You're re-switching your body from a stress mode to a bit relaxation mode. And that can be a compensation for the last 1 hour in which you were really stressed, so that it should not lead to the burnout. And of course, talking to somebody, whoever is your friend, family. So it's important to get the stuff out from your body. So that is why talking to somebody is recommended. So now, what are these benefits if you are just balancing yourself in this way? This It helps in improving your mental health, better teaching performance if you're a teacher or you're associated with any professional background, and stronger student relationship. When you're coming to the class, you are an happy to go teacher, and you may be very helpful for your students. And then that could be the key for excelling in your professional life, and then which can also lead to higher job satisfaction. So management yourself is the key. So for instance, I give you an example, like in a flight they always instruct, uh, due to air pressure the oxygen mask may come down. The first thing you should do it, you should wear the oxygen mask first, and then you should help anyone around you. The first thing is you can be beneficial to your family and everybody else around you if your first focus is yourself. So this is not being selfish, but you are taking care of yourself so that you can take care of others in a better way. Either it's your professional life, either it's your personal life. So some remedial strategies I have mentioned: prioritize rest and sleep. It's very important. 7 to 8 or 8 to 9 hours of sleep is mandatory. Practice emotional regulation, which can be by using mindful medication, helpful practice, breathing exercise, going to the gym, or indulging in any dance class, whatever is your favorite. This regulates your hormone levels, and then your body switches back to the normal mode of functioning. Third, rebuild social connection. So going out and meeting people. So like during festivities in India, we just go out and meet people. So you can just make that as a ritual. I know it's not possible every day, but at least once a week or something, that is very much possible. Family time, talking to the friends, maybe having a meal together, discussing your things, that can be a beautiful environment for your body. Improve nutrition and physical health. Everyday nutrition is a key. So don't indulge into something which is unhealthy. So for that, you have to plan your meals in advance. So that means you should be knowing that maybe a night ahead. Usually I do it in the night. I will think of, okay, what will I have in the day? The days when I'm not planning, I will also end up having something junk because I'm not carrying that in my lunchbox. If I just plan it advance, according to that, I have set up my brain. So what will happen in the morning? I will keep on thinking what to cook healthy, and then you will spend half an hour, nothing has been done. So that thinking, if you can do a night before, this is how you will be saving that time, and you will be like more productive, and then you will be having a healthy eating day. Then engaging in meaningful personal activities, can be hobbies, spiritual practices, if you like, whatever your religion is. And this is what it narrows your attention from a stressful environment to normalized, daily routine. Then cognitive reframing, helpful approaches, accept limitations, focus on achievable goal. It's not that you're just working for something which has a deadline for 6 months from now. You can just work for the deadlines which is like in your near future, maybe tomorrow or today. This is what is called as an cognitive reframing. So that means you can prioritize your days list on daily basis, or what you have to do it in this week or next week, and so on. This will be very helpful in maintaining your stress level and leading you to the burnout episodes. Important to seek support. Nowadays, I think if many people are aware, it's not a shameful act or something if you are going to a psychologist or seeking any sort of support. That's absolutely fine. This is a societal dilemma. That's going to the psychologist, that means something wrong within your mental state. This is equivalent to going to the doctor, because your cognitive flexibility, your mental challenge, that needs to have some support. So that is why it's important to take a support whenever you think it's needed. If burnout becomes severe, then it will be more challenging to be managed. Psychological counselings are available, cognitive behavior therapies are available, stress management programs Laughing clubs are available nowadays, and these interventions help restore mental resilience and coping mechanisms for everyday basis. So again, here I would like you to please maybe one or two volunteers, maybe Dr. Shivani, you can just help me with the just one response or something like that, so that we can just talk about it a bit. Who has
Yeah.
written?
Yes, ma'am. So, what causes more stress to us? I think it's a lot of administrative work. I think as teachers, we don't say that teaching really keeps us very happy. But yes,
Yeah,
adding on the administrative work to us, I think that really, I think everybody will resonate with me that it does add on to a lot of stress. So,
yes.
there's no denying that we love teaching, but teaching
That
with
is why
admin,
we are, yeah,
yeah,
that is why we are into the profession of teaching. So if you're passionate about teaching, then only you can be into that profession.
yeah.
As I
But
mentioned, for administrative job, it's very important to work on your skill development. So because there is a set of requirements, to manage the admin jobs. So that skill needed to be developed. If you just work on, skill development, then nowadays we can't just say no to admin job because this is the part of our requirements.
yeah.
So at least working on yourself, that can be helpful. At least you can restrict yourself from having a stressful day or burnout episodes. Okay, so what small change you can improve your what small change can improve your well-being?
Like you
What do you?
suggested, ma'am. Yeah, I think someone else was speaking.
Okay.
Uh, Someone else wants to talk? Okay. Ma'am, like you suggested, maybe learning a skill. I think that should help.
Okay, that is professional. What about your personal life?
Ma'am, go to sleep. Snooze, snooze, snooze.
Okay, so we all should work on the pattern of regulating our sleep cycles. So that
Yeah.
is very important because it's not that we can talk to our body. The body takes our environmental signals, and according to that, it works. So basically, earlier, what happened at the time of sunset, people were sleeping and waking up before the sunrise because this is how our body has been framed. Now after that we are just making changes to it. We are sleeping earlier at 8, now 10, 11, then 12, then now sometimes 3 or 4 youngsters. So initially you will not feel anything, but if you're collectively doing that, then later on you may experience some episodes.
Yeah.
So now the third one, how can institutions support teachers wellness?
Ma'am, I think we have 4 heads of institute. I would rather like to, put them in charge to ask these questions. Dr. Rudika Hemdev, Dr. Purnima ma'am, Dr.
Yes,
Aruna
maybe a
ma'am.
reflection, a
Yeah,
reflection from you all.
yeah. Maybe hearing it from the heads of institution will be more.
Meaningful.
Yes.
Can you repeat the question?
So, how
Ma'am.
can institutions support teachers' wellness?
In between we have these bots wherein we have decided like let's start with like a yoga or a small meditation session midway. We've had these discussions earlier in college.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Also, I feel that since we are a very small institution, what also affects teachers sometimes is staff room politics. So
Mm,
somehow, at my level, I try and keep fairness, at so that it doesn't, ascend any further. But yes, I feel in the college amongst teachers, having good relationships is extremely important. That's
mm-hmm.
one thing that I really, it makes a lot of difference because, if there is, you get along well with your teachers. So even if there's that extra admin work, which I keep giving them, that doesn't become very taxing.
Great.
They do it very happily and willingly. So
Great.
I feel that.
Mm. So thank you, ma'am, for the response. I think the work culture environment that also plays an
Yes.
important role. So maybe if you're
Very
given,
important role, yes.
yeah, if you are given an admin task, maybe if I know how to do that, I can help others. So this is
Yes.
how these things can be managed very well. So admin things, and of course, if you are indulging more into like skill development activities, that can be a plus factor as well. Because nowadays we need to acquire a lot of skills. If you're just talking about education, education is not just teaching and going. It's like more than that. I would say, as an educator, you are doing maybe 6, 7 jobs together, and to manage 6, 7 jobs together plus your family and everything is not that easy. So that environment, creation of that environment is also very important. So thank you so much for your responses. So going on further, I just have some references if you are interested, and plus now I have a thank you slide. So over to you, Shivani ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Now I
Now
think
I think
Samita
Samita
ma'am will
ma'am.
take over.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of all the organizers, I, Professor Samita Bharat from Srinagar College of Commerce, extend my heartfelt gratitude to the speaker of the first session, Dr. Gunjan Khera, for delivering the insightful key address during today's international webinar. We truly enjoyed the session, ma'am, especially the areas focusing on the causes of stress and burnout, lifestyle factors contributing to burnout, and practical measures to achieve the balance and maintain the mental well-being. I must say, I personally could relate to many aspects of the burnout cycle, and I would definitely try the remedy strategies which are suggested by you, ma'am. The neuropsychological effects were also explained in a very simple and understandable manner, even though the topic itself sounds quite complex for me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable and inspiring session. Now, without further delay, we'll proceed to our second special session. Over to you, Professor Aparna Matigar.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege to introduce our special speaker for today's international webinar. Nupur Nautiyal is a creative practitioner working at an intersection of design, filmmaking, and expressive arts. She holds a bachelor degree in fashion communication from the Symbiosis Institute of Design, Pune, a master degree in film and television research and production from the University of Birmingham, UK, and a diploma in dance movement theory, therapy from the Tata Institute of Social Science, Mumbai. With over 8 years of experience in media and content creation, her work explores journaling and creative expression as powerful tool for self-reflection, emotion insight, and personal growth. We are truly delighted to have her with us today. I warmly welcome Mr. Nupur Nautiyal. Sorry, Miss Nupur Nautiyal.
Thank you for the warm welcome. Hi, everyone. I will just change my view to gallery view so that I can see everybody. How are you all doing?
Very good.
Good, ma'am. Okay, I can see everyone. Can everyone see me?
Yes, ma'am.
Amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
Please don't call me ma'am. Please call me Nopur. I should be calling all of you ma'ams and sirs. You're all professors and do such a wonderful work. So today I will not take too much time. I love journaling. I have been doing it since pre-COVID time, and during COVID, my diary was like my best friend because I could share everything with it, um, in the form of art, in the form of words, and that's why I love sharing this space with everyone, because I think paper can be such a great friend, um, especially when other people around you might not be willing or have the space to hold space for you. Um, Paper always comes as a very, very good friend at that time. Before we start this session, I would like to do a little bit of grounding. I would also want to check in with everyone. Is everyone okay with Hindi and English? And अगर if मुझे सिर्फ हिंदी में बोलना है तो प्लीज मुझे बता दीजिएगा. Just feel free to let me know. Um, I'm usually more comfortable with English.
English is fine, Nupur.
Thank you so much.
English is
My
okay,
Hindi
ma'am.
is good, but it takes me a few seconds longer to think in it. So isliye I'm just checking in with everyone. All right. In that case, I will just put on a little bit of music, which will go on throughout the session if that's okay. And just let me know if the volume is fine. Okay. Can you all hear the music?
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
It's a
It's a
little
bit
bit,
low.
ma'am.
It's a bit low. Low is
Yeah.
it should not be too high.
No, it's perfect. I think no, but it's good.
Amazing. So let's just start with a bit of reading. I usually like to start my sessions like this, and even otherwise, on days when I'm feeling a bit like, I need to ground myself. I've had a day. This is the best way to do that. We'll close our eyes and take any of our hands, right or left, place it on our chest, and the other hand, we place it on our belly, our stomach. We gently start focusing on ourselves, on our body. For the next 20 minutes, forget everything else that is in our mind. We set an intention that the next 20 minutes is first for ourselves. One breath. Putting up feeling of breath. In our chest, our belly. Inhale deeper, or is the exhale deeper? We'll take a few breaths together. The first two, I will give the count for the first 2-3 breaths. And then after that, we'll do it on our own pace. So let's all take a deep inhale. Let's exhale from our mouth with a sigh. Let's do it again. Deep inhale. And let's exhale with a sigh. Let's do it one last time together, and then let's do it at our own pace. 3 people. And let's go to the side. Let's do a couple of things at our own pace. With each exhale, let's let whatever is making us feel heavy, let's let that go. The stress, the emotions, whatever is making us feel heavy, let's just let that go. We bring our hands together and rub them. And place them on our eyes. Then we open our eyes. And whenever we're ready, please, let's do that. How is everyone feeling? Okay. So I have a question before we start the session. Does everyone have a piece of paper and a pen with them? Pen and paper?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
So everybody has it? So what we will do is, can you write? I will write. We'll take a pen. So, okay, to start with, just mention what we are doing today. We are doing this technique called neurographic art. Okay, so it is developed by a Russian architect / psychologist. It's a very, like, there is a whole program around it, though we are not going to go that deep. People have realized that this technique is very simple and easy to do and has great calming effects on the nervous system, on us. Why and how, you can tell me after we have done the technique. And so we'll be practicing that together. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this today was because you're all professors, you have hectic days. There are going to be days when you don't have the time to take out too much time for yourself, but you need something that can quickly regulate your nervous system. Or like if you're bored, you have heard of doodling. A lot of people do that. This falls in a category which does not require a lot of, art supplies, or you don't need to be an artist to do something like this. It's simple, easy, and it's a technique that everyone can do whenever they feel like they need something to calm them down. So probably before your session or between sessions when you have a break, I hope that you can take it back and apply it in those times. Okay, so all we need is a diary and a pen And so you're going to start from anywhere around the page, and we'll start drawing lines. My pen not working. My pen's not working. Really. I have another pen. Save me. Yeah, we'll start drawing lines, like just intersecting one big line that is intersecting in places. Can you all see it?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
So keep drawing it how much ever you want. You want it to be very loopy and very like throughout the page, you can do that. Or if you want it to be just simple and like light, like just a couple of them, but close the loop. Okay, wherever you're starting from, eventually जो आपकी line है उसको लेके जाके उधर खत्म कर दीजिए. Whenever you're ready. So like I started mine here, so I will come and bring it and end it at this point. यहाँ पे. Okay, and because I want you to do this at your own pace, I will just explain the next step, because there are basically just 2 steps to this. Now you're going to see that there are going to be a lot of intersecting corners on your page. Am I right? Does everyone have intersecting corners on the
Yes.
Okay. So now what we are going to do is the intersecting corners that you can find, we will round them off. मतलब जैसे ये दिख रहा है ना मेरे corner, I will take my pen and I will curve it. मतलब वो sharp corner नहीं लगना चाहिए. पहले triangle था ना, triangle की जगह उसको I will make it like a round thing. Smooth करना है हर corner को. You can make it as thick or as thin as you want, but so जैसे यहाँ पे है, right? We'll just smooth the corner on all 4 sides. Okay?
Ma'am, could you please repeat this? I couldn't get.
I will do that. So you have corners on your page, like जहाँ circles या आपकी lines meet कर रही होंगी, वहाँ edges बने होंगे ना, sharp edges बने होंगे, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
तो वो जो sharp edges हैं, हम लोग बस उसको like ऐसे semi circle type का, वो sharp को हम soft कर देंगे बस. Line लेके line बना देंगे उधर पे. Color your corners या just make them round, but the thing is that it should not look sharp anymore. मतलब से अगर ऐसा एंगल बन रहा है
Yes.
soft कर देंगे. Like we'll make it rounder. Yes. You fill it in if you want, or just keep like layering it, but the thing is it should look soft. It should not look like a. Did everyone get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we are trying. Yeah.
Okay. Try and let me know. Agar, if it's difficult, I'll see if I can show it in some other way.
Ma'am, is it okay?
Yes. See, there is no right or wrong in this. I'm sorry, I can't see anymore. Okay. Yeah, show me what you were showing. Yes, that's great. So just make sure that it's curved on all four corners. So you can darken it completely, or if you want, you can just हल्का सा ही बनाना है तो हल्का सा भी चलेगा. Even a softer line is okay.
Yeah, the top endings are in V shape, we can make in U shape like soft.
Correct. Yes. Perfect.
Thank you.
What you said is absolutely right. So anyone else who's struggling with understanding what I was saying, basically V shape को U shape बनाना है. Very well said. Thank you. That's why you're professors and I am not. But I hope that explains it. So V को U करना है. सारे V's को चारों कोनों से U बनाना है अपने को. अभी वो U को हाफ सर्कल करके कर सकते हैं या फिर पतला सा लाइन देके करना है, बट वी शेप नहीं रहना चाहिए कहीं पे भी अपना ड्राइंग में. आई होप दैट एक्सप्लेन्स थिंग्स नाउ. Let me know once you're done with cornering. Making all the V's into U's. जब हो जाएगा आपका तब बताइए.
Nupurji, even I'm making the heart with the corner, yes, with the U shape. Yeah.
Hey, that's so sweet. That looks really nice. Wow, I had never thought of that. That's why I love doing this, because everyone gets creative and comes up with their own ways of doing it. That's such a lovely thing to do.
Thank you.
Making hearts. Oh, that's so sweet. So now if you have done the cornering, something must have happened जब cornering कर रहे थे. So if I have time on my hand, what I like to do is I like to make patterns inside this. Like I'll give you an example of something I had done in the past. One second. Like something like this. You will see. So if you feel like you still want something, आपको time है और doodle करने का मन कर रहा है, तो कोई भी पैटर्न, स्मॉल डैशेस या फिर just lines. I love doing lines because it helps me focus a lot. So पतली lines अगर बनानी है, just one after the other. It does not need to be perfect, but just like one after another line parallel to each other. So just experiment with the spaces that you have created in your artwork, and yeah, see what comes up. See how you're feeling after doing this. Is your inner creative feeling happy and energized?
Yes, I feel I always that I'm not a good artist at all. Because of this, even I changed my stream of education also. In science, we have drawing now, ma'am, biology, physics, everything.
Yeah.
And after 10th class, I skipped that. Why to take this by PC, all this I can't draw. Now this I'm experiencing, I to have some creativity, that too after your appreciation. Thank
Maybe you need to
you.
do more. Maybe you need to start drawing more. So I have
Yeah.
always believed this, that we can all sing, we can all dance, we can all draw, क्योंकि हम लोग बचपन में करते थे. As babies, as kids, we've seen all ourselves scribble on paper and show our
Yeah,
families
scribble.
ki I drew a spider, right? So we all have that within us. Expression can look different. It does not need to be perfect art. It just needs to allow us to express. And I hope that today that's what you're taking back. That's amazing. So if there are any questions or anything, just let me know. Would you guys want to try something else?
Yes, we are eager.
Yeah. Do we have time or how are we?
Yes.
We're
After
good. You can go ahead. I think Nupur, explain why did we do this?
Okay, so why we did this is usually what they say is when you make the sharp corners into the softer U corners or the rounded corners, it helps the sharp thoughts that we have in our mind, right? Like all of us have those thoughts that keep us up during a time. It softens them. It allows our nervous system to find new patterns, and that is why it has a very therapeutic effect when we are doing something like this. So I think it's a great exercise to do by ourselves, especially if something's bothering us. Just draw these lines and start cornering it, something or the other, like a solution will show up. If not then, maybe a couple times later, but it will show up. And you will not even realize why and how. Even other than that, if you're feeling anxious or stressed, this is a great exercise to do at that time. So yeah, that's why we did this. And if we Shruti has shared something. Oh, lovely. That's amazing, Shruti. That's really, really cool. Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful 3D art. Any other questions, or do you want to try another exercise? Let me know.
my opinion is, can we go with another exercise?
Okay. Then let's do a quick brain dump activity. So brain dumping is very simple. I do it like a brain map. If you want to put, like, the whole idea is that whatever is on our mind, we just put it on paper. Okay? Without thinking much. Whatever is bothering us, it could be a to-do list, it could be anything. Just on the paper, say for example, session. The first word that comes to my mind. I'll write that down. I wrote that. I'm just going to draw a box around it so that, like, it feels like art to me and not just like a list. So I just drew a box around it. Okay. What else is bothering me? Heat. Mumbai heat is bothering me. So I'm going to write that. That's my second box. And I'm just going to keep writing things that are coming to my mind as I sit and do it. Let's take another 5-10 minutes and try and do this on our own. Any questions? You can make circles, you can make triangles, whatever shape you're feeling like right now. If you're feeling different shapes for different boxes, do that. Just make sure that they are connected to each other. That's it. And they're on one page or 2 pages. Up to you. So let's take 10 minutes. Like this. Any questions?
We are trying, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then I'll see you all in 10 minutes. I'm here. I'll just. let's take a minute and bring this to a close. So whatever you're doing, just find a pause in that for now. You can always revisit it later. Is anyone there?
Yes, Nupur. We are still here.
I thought that everyone's gotten a bit too relaxed.
Yeah, it is a quite relaxing exercise. So I think we are relaxing for now.
Nice. If there are any questions, anything you want to know, please let me know.
Nothing from our side as of now.
I think that's it. If anyone wants to show what they've done, that would be nice. I was writing mine. I couldn't finish the whole page, but this is what I wrote. That's my brain dump.
I am still turning my V's into U's, so this
Nice.
is me.
That's nice. But I hope both these activities can help you, especially like if you're preparing for a lecture and you want to organize your thoughts. This is a great exercise to use. Just brain dump all the thoughts that are coming to your mind at that time, and you'll find connections that you want to pull out. Yeah, and whatever is important will automatically stand out for you. So yeah, if there are too many thoughts in your head, it's a great way of putting them down on paper, is what I feel, and that's why I thought this is a good exercise to try today. That's it. I will probably stop the music.
Actually, you should share the link to the music.
I
Actually,
will do that. So
there
this
were quite a few who were asking for the music.
I will just share it right away.
Okay.
So this channel itself is very nice and has a lot of like calming music. So if not this piece, if anything else you like, please go ahead and check it out. Thank you everyone for being so patient with me and for interacting and trying things out with me. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Thank you.
Nupur ji, I have a doubt.
Hanji, boliye.
Yeah, after doing this, brain dumping.
What came up?
So what to do? And after that, what is the next step?
The next step is, so you know how during meditation people say ki you just observe your thoughts, right? And you're not supposed to flow with them. The idea, like I'm a very visual person, तो मेरे को जब अगर मैं meditate करती हूँ तो there are times when I don't really realize क्या चल रहा है मेरे दिमाग में, because I will
Okay.
not even know, and जानने से पहले ही I am gone with a thought. So for
Okay.
me, brain dumping really helps me to actually see क्या क्या चल रहा है मेरे दिमाग में. In the moment,
Okay.
what all is going on, it really helps with that. And there are times जैसे if you're doing brain dumping very often, right, आपको patterns दिखने लगेंगे. So say that a person gets anxious often and keeps writing anxious each time they're brain dumping. You know that this is something that needs to be addressed. Like,
Okay.
generally कि अच्छा मैं क्यों इतना anxious हो रही हूँ. क्या चल रहा है दिमाग में, then you can kind of investigate that. And that is why brain dumping helps. So it really helps, जैसे if you can take a topic and brain dump about it. And that's why I gave the example. जैसे आपको एक lecture लेना है and you have a lot of thoughts about how you want to go and organize it, right? But it's all in your head. आप एक बार पेपर पे डाल दोगे क्या क्या आइडियाज आ रहे हैं आपके, then you can see what all you want to pick up and create out of it.
Okay, okay.
It can be a great way of putting your to-do list down. जैसे अगर बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि क्या to-do list में like क्या क्या करना है, तो अगर सब डाल दिया, then you know exactly what your to-do list is, and then आप prioritize कर सकते हो कि ठीक है, मैं पहले से जैसे मैंने लिखा है I have to make soup, तो I know that that is something that is important. Everything else that is there in my brain dump can probably happen कल या परसों में भी. खाना तो आज चाहिए तो वो ज्यादा प्रायोरिटी लेगा. So those kind of things start happening, and it just calms your mind in general. Did anyone feel that way? Yes, no, maybe. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Nupur ji, sorry, I have one more doubt.
Bolo, please.
Can we have a further session? I mean, next meeting or something, expanded one.
Sylvester, you will have to tell.
Yeah. So we will take up a session
I
that
feel it
like
is very short.
okay. So we'll be taking it ahead and yeah, thank you for participating. And one more thing, Nupur has a page which where she does this exercises on weekend basis on Sundays. So we will share the links for those pages as well. So then you can take up the session from there as well.
So yeah,
Okay,
usually once a month, I have a journal club of sorts.
Okay.
Once a month we meet and we just journal together. So we do these activities or new activities depending on क्या मन कर रहा है लोगों का. So yeah, I will share the link for that also if anyone's interested in joining the club.
Yes, yes. Ma'am.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you.
how to reach you, ma'am? Yes.
How to reach me? Wait, I can put in my number here.
Nupur, actually, you are also part of the group. So your
So
number,
yes, my number should be on the group itself. वो है.
yeah.
हाँ, the thing is I'm not very active on my social media. वरना मैं बोलती हूँ मैं अपना social media का page दे
Me
देती.
too, ma'am. Me too. Yes, because we are busy, so cannot respond to it.
No, so like Sylvester said, I am on that on the group as well. So my number's there. I think Sylvester or somebody would point it out. And other than that, वो journal page का भी वहाँ पे डाल दूँगी link.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
I think somebody else had a question as well. I saw a raised hand.
I think it was by mistake. I don't know.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. Got it. No questions are a good thing, I guess.
So yeah, thank you so much, Nupur, for leading the session today. And like the activity was very easy and like I found it very peaceful. So yeah, in a way, it was incredibly helpful for me and it resonated with me. And surely, like from the participants, I can see that it resonated with others as well. So thank you so much for being with us and sharing your expertise with us. And now I'll hand it over to Shivani ma'am for the closing remarks. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, Nupur.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sylvester. Thank you, Nupur. As we come to the end of this enriching session, I would like to thank the esteemed speakers, Dr. Gunjan Khera and Nupur Nautiyal, the conveners and the collaborating institutes, Siyangar College of Commerce, Mumbai, Shivaji Rao S. Jodle Institute of Law and Research, Asangaon, Vignaharta Trust, Shivaji Rao S. Jonle Polytechnic, Asangaon, Bhavna Trust, Junior and Degree College of Commerce and Science, Mumbai. Today's discussion reminded us that while academic excellence is important, emotional sustainability is essential. After all, the best educators are not just those who work the hardest, but those who lead with balance, clarity, and well being. Before we conclude, a small reminder to the participants, please fill out the feedback form that has been shared in the group. And after you fill the feedback form, you will be issued an e-certificate. On behalf of the organizing institutes, I extend a sincere gratitude to each one of you to participate in such huge numbers. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a wonderful day. I once again request everybody to please fill in the feedback form. Only after that will you get their certificates. The feedback form link will not be shared on the WhatsApp group. It will be given here only. So those participants who are here on Zoom, please fill the form. So far, we have only got 73 people who filled the form, but we have 193 participants. I request everybody to please fill the Google form.
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can we expect another sessions like this further?
Sure, ma'am, we will. And I've taken your idea into consideration. We will be having much session. You're from which college, ma'am?
I'm from G. Pullaredi Engineering College, ma'am. Karnool.
Okay.
It is located in Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, we would like to collaborate too. If you have to do such more sessions, I will get in touch with you personally.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am.
You're most welcome, ma'am. Thank you, everybody. I hope all of you have filled your Google form. And thank you for this wonderful, enriching experience that we shared today. With this, I think we end the meeting today. Thank you.